Hi, I'm Steph, and I'm the Accounts, Commissions and Finance Executive at Mdee.
Brilliant. Well, thank you for joining me, Stephanie, today. Appreciate your time.
All right, thanks for having me.
Welcome. Let's start with a nice, easy one. So, if you don't mind me asking, how long have you been at Mdee?
So I've been with Mdee since 2008, November 2008. I started. I've been around all the departments, but I've worked a little bit in our fulfillment centre. I've worked in accounts, admin. Done quite a few different roles. So gained quite a lot of experience, I think, within the company. So yeah.
Yeah. So, what would you say you enjoy the most about working with Mdee?
The variety and sort of being able to, when different queries come up, and just kind of delving into what's happened, why it's happened, what can we do to fix it, and how do we explain this, and just supporting the partners in finding out what's going on with any of their commissions, because commissions is a big part of my job, and just supporting them and sort of trying to translate that into more simple terms of what's going on.
Okay. So, just to pick up on that, you mentioned about your partners and the commission side of it. So, I guess getting things right because you're talking about people's pay and their income. So, how important is it that you guys get things right for your partners and for Mdee?
Oh, it's massive, because if something does go wrong, and just one slight error can cause massive implications, whether it's being overpaid or underpaid. And if we underpay a partner, that then follows through to their cash flow. And if they're a small business and they've got wages to pay, it can have a massive impact. So it's ensuring that that's all as accurate as it possibly can be for them. And if it's not, finding what's gone wrong as quickly and turning that around as quickly as possible for them, so that we can make sure everything is correct on their account.
Okay. How much of that do you take on for the reseller to be able to sort that out for them with the network, with EE?
So a lot of what I do is when I sort of establish that there's a problem, I go directly to the network and find out when they can resolve it. Things don't come through as quickly as we'd like in terms of getting stuff from the network, but the moment we sort of get that, we get it into our partners, into the GEM system as quickly as possible, so that we can get that over to them, just as smoothly as we can. It does sometimes take a while, but it's just trying to get that over to them as quickly as possible, and making sure that the data that comes down is understandable as well, and we can get that swiftly into our system.
Yeah, cool. So in terms of how important would you say the partners are to Mdee and the business as a whole?
Oh, we wouldn't be here without the partners, would we? So they're, and you know what, and they're lovely, and they come on the phone, or I've had lots of interaction via Teams with the partners since we've been working from home, which has been lovely, because we've been able to see them face to face. And actually get any queries or any explanations that they need in terms of their commission statements, or anything that they've received, any sort of data or any payment that they've received. We can explain that to them and make sure that they fully understand what's going on with their account. So yeah, and different partners have different levels of understanding. They need different levels of support. But as long as we all sort of pull together and make sure that they get whatever support they need, then it makes, it sets that that expectation that they can come to us, that it sets that sort of, if they think that they can come to us, then they'll feel more comfortable approaching us. And that's what essentially we want to do, is make them feel comfortable to come to us with any queries.
Brilliant. I was thinking, how, in that basis, how do you, because you work with a number of partners, so how do you ensure that you guys treat partners as individuals?
So different partners are, different level of connections. They do, they've got, one partner might query, a wide range of connections and have issues with their statements, or whereas that other partners might it might be one connection where they're having issues with. But you just treat them all differently, not treat them all differently, but each individual partner that comes through with a query, you just deal with that as it comes down. You can't treat everybody the same, because every account is completely different. Every partner does different level of connections, different complexity. Some do like corporate, some do small business, so everything's different. So you've just got to treat that partner as individual as you can, so you make them feel comfortable and make them feel like they can come to you, and that you are going to kind of prioritize whatever they want from you.
So in terms of the video conferencing then and the video calls,
yeah,
building strong relationships with your partners has got to be a key thing. So how much of a difference do you think that has made?
Well, a few partners, so I'd never met them before we went into lockdown, and just having that first initial kind of Teams contact with them where you were face to face, it just softened everything. You kind of, they saw you as a human, you see them as a human, so you kind of treat each other a little, it's a lot nicer atmosphere than just on the phone, or sometimes if you just emailing, you don't want things to come across wrong. So when you're emailing, they might take it a completely different way to what you've intended, and that's, you always try and be polite and as helpful as possible. But when you're actually face to face on a Teams call, they can see the intention with what you're trying to say, and because you can like screen share, and we can show our system or any reconciliations that I do, because a lot of the reconciliations are quite in depth. There's a lot of data to them, thousands and thousands of lines in some cases, and for them to understand on an email what I've done can be quite complicated. So just by having that chat with them via Teams and showing them exactly what I've done and my understanding and following it through to them, it gives them, it helps them sort of understand why you've done something and then what the outcome is.
Brilliant. Okay, cool. So one last cheeky question, if you don't mind. You obviously talk to partners a lot. So what do Mdee do brilliant that other partners don't, do you think, that other distributors don't?
I think with having the GEM system, we can be bespoke. So if a partner comes to us and says, you sell like that, you sell to us like this, your price book says this, but this doesn't work for us, what can we do? There are things that we can do, there are bespoke things that we can offer partners, and I think that's what kind of sets us apart from the other distributors. The rev share advance is a big thing for partners, and and EE pay us at 19 months, but we can offer those partners advances up to the 24 months, or if they only want to take 21 months, there's a variety of different things that we can do. So it's I think it's about sort of, we have those things set, we have everything set in place, we have our system set in place, but there is always like varies. Where's that now? Sorry. There is always things that we can do on a more bespoke level, and I think that's always kind of what sets us apart.
Brilliant. Okay, well, thank you for your time, Stephanie. It's been lovely talking with you, and appreciate your honesty.
That's all right.